Oh, delete that now. Well, hello, interwebs. I think we're good. I think I have some audio. Should be okay. That. We can delete. Oh my god. Delete. Why can't you be deleted? Don't save. Out of that one. Hey, Viking. Delete. Yes. Here. Delete. Yes. Garam Mario. Oh. What's up? I butcher people's names. I'm sorry. I'm not very good at that. Okay, I finally deleted. Okay. So now we go into here. Here's something. It's me and my awesomeness. Oh, nope, not that one. That. There it is. Alright, so you can get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. There she blows. So, over here, and we're going to inspect from that side to that side is 114.2. Tight fit, we'll get there. And that side to that side, no, pick up. That side to that side is 50.2. Oh, it's going to be tight. But it should fit. And then inspect from here to here. 3 mil. That should work out well. This is one of the final pieces for Mega Tron to print. I didn't like the original strap that I made, so Aaron went ahead and did his transformer thing to it. It's crazy looking. That's okay, Viking. I'm just gonna be messing around in CAD for a little while, and I didn't do a stream earlier this week, so I wanted to do one tonight. Hey, Dustin. All right, so we can go here, and we're going to save as STL. Okay. Mega Tron PSU top. Replace that one. I'm gonna get this printing, and then I'm gonna get to cleaning up the CAD. So that's kind of the whole thing I want to do tonight, is get the CAD drawing in the Fusion file really cleaned up, because right now the history in it is just bonkers. So I'm going to export each of the items individually that I have not already exported, and then re-import them into a new drawing or a new file, and get a nice clean one, so that when I go to publish this, I can publish the Fusion file, and you can have all the source files nice and clean in there and be able to mess with that. So let's remove this, import desktop. Where's that at? I don't know where I put that. Mega Tron PSU top. There it is. And Control L, on the top there. And we're going to print this on the Mega Zero. 3 perimeters. And we're going to do 20% infill just so this thing is sturdy. Center range, prepare to print. Groggy, my MP Select Mini is gone. I sold that. I needed to make room for more printers. And I needed to reduce the amount of printers I have because I have a lot. So I decided to sell the Monoprice Select Mini and the MP Mini, which is like the black one. I sold both of those. I'm going to rotate this just because I want to. All right, let's get the SD card here. Now that this printer is working again, I love printing with it. It's just a little loud. I'm debating on replacing the... Oh, did that finish? The Pi image? Nope. SD card may be broken. Well, that's not good. Trying to get a Pi 4 image written for RetroPie, I'm having a horrible time trying to get it to work. Keith started with the CR10S. Very nice. I still have my CR10S yonder. You can kind of see the corner of it over here somewhere. That's hard to see that. I mean, it worked, Groggy. Don't get me wrong, it worked, but I'm getting more into building my own machines, and like Mega Tron is I would say probably 80% custom build that is far more capable than the Monoprice Select Mini was. That was a good printer for the time. I needed something else when I was early in my YouTube time. I needed another printer, and having the YouTube income and Patreon, that allowed me to be able to buy that printer and work on it. That was actually the first printer I bought that was using supporter money, I would say. So it definitely served its time well. I used it for God knows how many hours. Prepare, PLA. And I modified the living junk out of it. But it was good for the time. I definitely enjoyed that printer for when I had it. It just was time for it to go to a new family, a new friend. I sold it for dirt cheap. I would put these away eventually. I wanted to actually start tonight with building the bear. I'm doing a DIY bear build, and if you're not familiar with the bear is an upgrade to the Prusa Mark III, or any of the Prusa original Prusa machines. There's a bear upgrade for it. Robert, what's up, man? And I decided to do a 2020 version of the bear, which originally was going to be Mega Tron, but decided against that and made Mega Tron just its own different thing. But I did do a 2020 bear. I have the frame sitting down here. I think I'm missing a few parts. So I'm going to spend this weekend. I got more parts in. I got the LCD screen in today. I got the NZ board in. I got the smooth rods. I got the integrated lead screw Z's in. I got the bed in. I've got an MK52 clone bed here for it, which I wonder how well this one sticks. I have another clone one that sucks. Oh, that's good. You guys can hear that blank. That is a good clone right there. It's funny because it doesn't say original Prusa i3 on it, which is fine. Doesn't need to be. But it seems like they're no longer just cloning the Mark III one anymore. This is a bisect one. So I think I'm going to buy a second one of these if this one works out well for Mega Tron, because Mega Tron has a very low quality clone on it. But anyways, yeah, so I think I have all the parts. I have the bearings, the pulleys, the board, LCD, all the motors. I think everything is there. So I'm going to spend this weekend going through my parts bin, which I have here for all the printed parts already done in polycarbonate carbon fiber, and make sure I have everything I need for the build. And then maybe Monday I'll start the bear build. That might be Monday's live stream. Not sold on that yet, but that is a strong possibility. Where is my spool holder at? Because it's not there. Where's the black PLA at? Black PLA, black PLA, black PLA. There it is. It's on my desk. So I need this. And I need to snip the end off. But yeah, I spent good 2 hours on that Raspberry Pi 4 today trying to get the RetroPie to work. And it's just not, it's giving me no love. It's quite upsetting. Where did that go? I thought I knocked it down. Thought I picked it up. It's not that one, is it? Because it needs to be facing that way. Sorry, I need a quick second here to figure out what the heck I'm doing, because I got too much stuff in my space here. I mean, I guess this one will work. It's just not preferred. Not there. It's not. Didn't fall down there. Didn't fall here. Didn't fall there. Oh, I didn't put it up there anywhere. I swear, I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached. I mean, I'm just being terribly honest there. I lose more things, and I'm pretty sure I drop more things than Linus does. I am getting pretty sure of that. I drop everything. Oh, yeah, here it is. It's on the floor. Oh, it's under the MGN. Or the BLV Cube. My big new printer. It's under there. This one faces that way. These are cool spools. If you have these spiral or these wire shelving units, these just friction fit, and they're held in by the weight of the spool pretty much holds them in place, which is super awesome. All right, we did have some gray in there. And we got black coming out now. Okay, so fresh SD card, Mega Tron PSU top. Make it so. Love that. Organization. I mean, I'm working organization. Like, I've been going through all of my screws and everything like that, trying to get everything here better organized. I have a ton of IKEA bins. You can't see them, but like I keep all my various projects. Like, this is 2 camera sliders that I'm working on right now. I have an old camera slider project, and this one, like I really do try to keep myself organized. And you think I'd do better at it in such a small space. But that's the problem in a small space, is things do stack up quickly. Make sure I get a good first layer on this. A little close there. A little close here. A little close all over the board, I think. Yeah. Send it, see what happens. I actually just fixed, so this week, before I get into the model, this week, and the reason why I didn't stream Monday, is I've been just doing maintenance on all my printers. I've been hanging out on a couple of other YouTuber streams, just kind of shooting the crap with them as they're streaming and just kind of just hanging out. Some of the community streams, and I think there's one going on right now, but sorry to step on them. But yeah, so I've been working on all my machines. So I worked on the original Prusa i3 Mark III S there. It needed it. I put a new fan on it because it died. I needed to reroute the cable. The Pinda probe was having issues, so I had to readjust that. And that was the only 2 issues on that machine. The Mega Tron needed a few little tweaks. I finished him up. The Anycubic Mega Zero, the heater core actually died on it. Hey, Naim. Or somewhere in the cable there was a break. So as the extruder was moving, the heater would just cut out. So I replaced the heater in that, and I've done a few successful test prints. So let's see if we get thermal runaway. And this will be the first longer print I do on that. I have some awesome upgrades kind of planned for that machine, but for right now, it's doing what it should do, which is print fantastic. And then finally, I have my Mark III's clone on here doing some testing, because I think the throat is finally bit it. I just replaced it with another really cheap clone, and it's not doing very well. So I have some more think better ones coming in once the mail gets here that I'm going to put on here. And if that still doesn't work, I'm just going to order a couple E3D throats and go from there. That'll be better. But I'm still getting a little bit of stringing in here because of the throat. I had the same problem in Megatron. I put a legit E3D throat in it. Problem went away. So workspace, yeah. But yeah, so I'm definitely making progress this week. Not like tangible progress that most people can see or not everyone will appreciate, but it's progress that I need to make here in the shop just to get things back in order a little bit. And I think once I get all of the bare stuff together, I can do some more organizing and get things away. Like this whole thing of LEDs needs to go in the LED bin. because this was from 2 projects ago or several projects ago. I did a few out of this. This is NeoPixels, and I just put NeoPixels in the kids' room, which is why I brought it back out. But I'm done with that. This needs to go away. And Mega Tron stuff is just everywhere. So Mega Tron and the bear build. Well, that is looking pretty good. So we're gonna let that ride it out. I did finally get myself a set of metric drill bits, which I'd never had. So that'll be really easy to drill things out now. Aaron kind of gave me crap for not having a metric set. And this is the one he recommended he had. I only got my M5 tap in. I needed an M6 tap as well for tapping some of the extrusion on some of these printers. M6 will get here eventually. And finally got some back-ordered Sunon maglev fans, 12 volts, that I was looking for a while. These are like mid-range ones. They're 0.59 watts. So they're not loud, but they move a lot of air. I have some 0.74 watts and some 0.41 or 0.42 watt ones that are way quieter, don't move much air, but the 7s move a lot. But these are good middle-of-the-road ones. These are the A99s. So if you need some Sunon fans, I can give you the link for those. Those are awesome. All right, now that's working. I'm going to go ahead and re-enable some of the parts on here. Just like that. And then we can save this one here. And then we can pull that out. So here is Mega Tron in its, let's open this to this. There we go. So here's Mega Tron in its glory. I'm going to keep the side panel open because I'm going to need to look into there. So this is the original model that Aaron and I were working with, and there's a few things that need to kind of be fixed in here. Number one, I have a different power supply on here. That's different. I have a different mount here for the enclosure for the electronics. It's the mount part right here against the frame is different, so I need to change that out. The front and back, I'm using 2040 frame down there, and that is to raise up the Y carriage, because right now I wanted to keep as low profile as possible. We did that, but I didn't take into account that when you move the gantry down and over, it collides with the Z mounts because I'm an idiot. So those I need to import some 2040 in order to get that done. And I am using up here on the right corner. You can go this way. I actually went ahead and developed this little, this is the Z-top right down here. This is it's right above me there. That is for reverse Bowden tube, which is excellent. And I have a different top for that as well. That's it's similar to this one, but I need to import that as well. So if you want reverse Bowden, you can do that. And I'm going to overlay some of these models to give people different ways to do it. So like right now, the front, this foot, the LCD screen, and the Mega Tron power supply enclosure, these are all built for dual extrusion. So you need a dual extrusion machine in order to make those work. I want to make another set of those just with the 1mm inset. So if you want that to be there, you can. I'm also thinking about making a totally clean set. So if you don't want that, the model's already there. Those are very easy things to make later. What I'm going to do is I'm going to overlay those on top of each other so that when you download this model and you're looking at it, you can be like, I want this power supply mount. I want this Z mount. I want this reverse Bowden setup or not. I think that will make it a little more accessible to everybody, I guess. I think it'll be better that way. So I'm going to uncheck all of the linked objects. So these are objects. So when you're looking in Fusion and you see these chains, these are objects that you've basically just grabbed from here and you've plopped into there. Ninja, what's up? And in order to change those objects, you have to go into the linked object in order to make those changes. I want most of the thing to be that. So if you want to make a change to one object, you just open up that object, you make your change, and it will show up in the master file here. So we're going to uncheck all of these because these are currently imported in objects. There, extrude. That whole thing there was imported in. Electronics enclosure, that was built in. This came in. That mount is different now. So I do want to just try and get the frame exported. So we're going to export the frame, save it to the cloud. It's going to go into Mega Tron, and I kind of want to make a new folder. We're just going to call this Mega Tron i3 clean. And we're going to export it into here. Why don't you let me do it? Frame, export. It's not letting me do that. Why not let me do the whole component there? It's because those are linked in there. I just want these bars. Just want the core frame. Copy. Let's see if I can just do a new design here. Paste new. Give it a second. There we go. That works out. And we'll just call this frame, and we'll go from there. So yeah, that's all fine there. Hit OK. And we're going to save this as frame. So now while I'm in here, I'm going to go to grab CAD real quick. And we're going to pull down some 2040 extrusion to put in there. I don't have a drink in here. So here's some 2040. Okay, that's the SolidWorks. I don't want SolidWorks. I don't want SolidWorks. SolidWorks sucks. Those files don't work too nicely in here. This is SolidWorks again. That's similar. It's a whole 2040 frame right there. Skeleton tame for oh, I have whole frames in here. That's very interesting. But I don't want that. I just need a piece of 2040. A step file. There we go. That'll work. Log in. Okay, so we can then pull this window over here, and we're going to go here, upload, drag this in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this item in. I'm going to break the link so that it only lives in here, and I'm going to delete this object because I just want the frame to be its own piece here. We'll save that out, and then we're going to build on from here. Everything else is going to come into this master file. So I'm going to go ahead and rename this object and call this Mega Tron i3. And we're going to move all of these objects. We're going to do a new component, and we're going to call it, we'll do that as the parent, and we're going to call it frame. From bodies. Here. Okay. I need to group all of these together. So I'm just going to pull them all into there. Like that. We're just going to call this frame. And here we have all of the parts. That's going to be deleted, and that's going to be deleted eventually. But here we got the 2040. Let's pull this in. Let me open it up first. Okay. We'll get out of that. Now I'm going to pull it in. There we go. Okay. So we need you to rotate like that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna move it point to point. So we're gonna pick that point there, pick that point right there. That is pretty close to where it needs to be. Just gonna move this down a smidgen, I think. So we're gonna set our pivot point to right here. -5. That looks to be on the money right there. And then now we're going to go ahead and right click it and do break link. Capture position, I want it to stay exactly where it is. And we're going to extrude this face back. I want to do it one-sided to object. And I need to hide it for a hot second. I need to hide the Y bar. We're going to go to that face to there. Hit OK. Now that is exactly how long it needs to be. Re-enable the Y bar. And there it is. So now all I have to do is just do Control-C, Control-V, copy and paste it, move it all the way to the back of the frame, and hit OK there. And there is our 2 new X bars. So we'll call this X bar front. And then, I guess we'll just call it X bar, because since they're copies, they're going to see each other. Re-enable everything here, hit isolate. Okay. And we're going to drag these into the frame. Drag you into the frame. There we go. Now we can go ahead and just right click and remove that run bar. And then this one back here, remove. And there we have it. Now we can set our appearance, which is going to be aluminum. Should be just that's steel. Anodized rough gray. We'll do that. Remove, 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 remove. Yep, and remove. And now we can save this. All right, so now we have our basic frame. Again, we're using the 2040 in the front to be able to raise that Y up a little bit. And everything else is set. And everything is here under frame. So now when I select that, I'm only selecting the frame parts, which is what I really, really want to see. Where's the top bar here? I'm going to go ahead and right click and remove this part. So now when I select frame, I don't have that little extra nibble up there. Nice, it's clean. Exactly what I want to see there. So I also want, since I want this to be clean, we're going to remove the history bar here eventually, because we'll have to do a little bit in here, but eventually we're going to just nuke the history bar on this one. It'll just make it easier. So I'm going to go ahead and hide the frame since I know that's done. Well, actually, the only thing I need to pull in is the 2028 connectors, the corner brackets there. So we're just going to go ahead and go back into the i3 here and go for my 2028s and copy them into that new folder. Eventually, I'll delete this one when I go to export it. I'm pretty sure I just missed it. I think I just missed it. Where are you at? Oh, of course, it's right there at the bottom. Right there, we're going to copy that into Mega Tron clean. And we're going to need 4 of these to go in. So we did these bars here. Turn the whole thing on. Those are all done. we still need to do the 2028s, and those two top aluminum quarters I never used. Did I put anything up there? I never put anything up there. Yeah, that's fine. So let's go into this one here. We have a lot of back and forth in this file here to kind of go around. I3 clean. All right, these 2028s, sorry, I'm going to pull these in here and line these up. So just do that. We're going to go ahead and use the align tool for this. So we're just going to do modify, align. It's got the body. And we're going to do components. We're going to do this one. We're going to go ahead and align that with, spin around here, right there. Hit OK. So now we are in line with that. So now all I need to do is right click, and then we can move this. Move it out of the way. Just pull this straight down, and I know that I'm in line with the face of that at least. I just need to pull this over and get it in line with this face here. Right there. And I have that centered. Right? Is that centered? That is centered. This is going to get. Hit OK. So now this is going to be multiple ways you can do this. I'm going to just copy and paste, Control C, Control V, capture position. I want it to be right where it is. We're going to then rotate this 180 degrees and just pull it straight over to this corner and get it lined up the way it should. We're really close there, right there. I hit OK. And we're just going to rinse and repeat. Control C, Control V. We're going to rotate another 180 degrees this way. Pull it over to the corner. Right to there. And then one more time. Degrees. Pull it over here. Now there very well might be easier ways to do some of the things I'm doing. I am not an Adobe, I am not a Fusion 360 Pro, so sorry. This just works out for me. We're going to make these matte black because all things should be matte black. Save those. And I think I have a, yeah, there is a sketch on these. We're going to delete that sketch. I think I was measuring something a while ago. Let's go into the object itself and delete that sketch out. So whenever you do a change in the object and it saves, you come into here, you're going to get this little triangle up here on your linked items. As they say, it's out of date. So you need to click on it in order to update it with the most current version of itself. And now that I've done that, that is now updated. We're going to go ahead and move all of these into the frame. Because they're already components, we're putting components inside of a component. So we're nesting all of that nicely. And that is the base of our aluminum frame for the printer. We're going to save again because we want to make sure we save everything. All right, so that is it for the frame. That is done. So we can turn that off. Now let's go ahead and move our way here to the feet. And we've got a few different ones here. So this is the logo foot. So I'm going to go ahead, right click. We're going to export that. Actually, I'll just copy it over from the other one. Are you crashing on me? No, there it is. Cancel that. To Mega Tron i3. And I'm going to go ahead and copy some of these objects over. There's the logo foot. Just going to copy the logo foot to the clean. And then let's find the other foot to copy over. We'll try to do this in order as best I can. Where is the foot? The other thing is some of the objects I made in the file, so this is one of them. So this foot is one of them. So we're going to right click this. We're going to export it. Step as a step, and they do come on, on my computer. Oh, let me do that. All right then. Export that. Let's make that a subcomponent in here. Now let's export. There's the F3D. There we go. So we're going to Mega Tron clean. And yeah, we're going to call this foot export. Let's go. I already copied that one over. So let's go into the clean folder. We can go into our clean drawing. And we can pull in the logo foot. So we're going to pull this in once, but we're going to pull the feet in 4 times. Because again, I want this to be able, for someone who does not have dual extrusion, they don't need to worry about this part here. Just going to manually line this up here. So let's do negative 190.5. Negative. And then we're going to go this way. Right there. Now we just need to move this up. 4.5. There we go. All right, so there's the logo foot. Now we're going to go ahead. I need to open up the file when you do the export and then close it so that Fusion updates itself. Now we can pull this in. And that one appears right where it needs to be. So we just hit OK on that. We're going to move the Mega Tron because that moved it. So we're going to go ahead and just do the point to point. So we're going to go from this point to that point, hit OK, and we're going to disable that foot, but we are going to copy and paste it. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and move it. Where's my, oh, remove, there we go. Go over to here, rotate this, not that way, not that way. 90 degrees that way. Get this spot on here. Wind up this direction. There we go. So there is that. That should be lined there. That is lined up there. Okay. And then we're just going to copy this, paste it again, capture position, move it straight back. My 90-degree turn. And this one, I'm just going to go ahead and do the align tool again, because that just is easier, I guess. Align that face with that face. And then we're going to align that face with that face. There we go. So just go back and make sure all these are right too. So modify, align, that face. No. If you hit the little point, it's where you get your problem. You got to just hit on the face. That face here with this face here. And this face with this face. Okay. We're all lined up there. That's good. And do the split one more time. Control C, Control V, capture position. Move it over. 90-degree rotation. 90. There we go. And we'll do the align tool. So modify, align, that face with that face, that face with that face. Okay. So now if you want the logo foot, you can use that, or you can disable the logo foot and change for a normal foot if you don't have dual extrusion. I'm going to leave the logo foot on there just because it looks nice. I like it. I like it, like it. Let's see here. So now we're going to move all of these. We're going to I need to create another subcomponent, don't I? 1 second here. From bodies, and we're going to go ahead and select. How do we do those, is it? No, what's the import? Why don't you let me do that? Turn off your foot. Oh, the one thing I didn't do is, hang on, cancel that. I need to right click the frame. I need to hit, I need to ground the frame. I think I need to go to each individual one down here. Do I have the option to do that? I don't. Why don't I have the option to do that? We're still clipping away over there. Oh, ground, there it is. Right click the frame, ground. I don't know why I was totally missing that. Now I'm an idiot. That's just gonna make sure the frame doesn't move, because when I don't want to be over. Why could I move that? It should be grounded. Hey, Matt. At least with the rigid group, okay, it's grounded and it's a rigid group, so that's not moving anymore. That's what I wanted to make sure of. Now for these, I'm sure why they're not letting me move it into there. I'm starting to wonder if this was such a fantastic idea of reinventing the wheel here. Because it's giving me a little more issue than I thought it was going to. Go like that back there. that we're just going to delete. No, yeah, I want to delete that. I think some of these things, when I deleted them, the reason why I wanted to create a fresh file is because when I delete them, other things just kind of go whack on me. Yeah, like see, when I delete that one part there, so we've got this. Care about that. If I just break the link, this is the first Z mount that I made before we changed it up a little bit. And now if I remove it, okay, that works better. Maybe we'll just have to clean this up rather than rebuild, because that's going to be rough. So these two X bars need to go. Let's remove those. Now I need the whole y-axis to move up 10 mil, 20 mil. And then I need to, let's copy this to Mega Tron. Yeah, maybe I'm trying to invent the wheel a little too much here. And I'm going to resize that in that model. So I'm going to do inspect from right here to right there. That is 300 mil. So I'm going to open this object up here and just resize it to make my life easier. It's 600, so we're going to just extrude this negative 300. And then we'll just verify, inspect from this face to this face. We are 300. Close that out. Save that. Then we're going to go ahead and grab the body here. We're going to copy it. Go into here. Let's save that. Save that. Do it, are you? We're just going to save that out and then pull it in and we'll break the link. Just have to do it that way. And this doesn't need to be linked. To move this by this point here. So right where it touches there is where it's going to touch the top of this inside one there. So just do that for now. And now we're going to just align it. Modify align. We're going to align that face with that face. There we go. Let's do one more line just to make sure I'm right where I'm supposed to be. So we're going to align this face with that face. Okay. There. Now that is perfectly in place where it needs to be. Now y-axis, it needs to move up more. Something like that. So that's how we are there. Change the appearance of this thing. We need to break the link on this one. Appearance go away. Break the link, capture position. There we go. I thought I had a brushed aluminum in this profile or not. Satin aluminum, there it is. Okay. So now I'm going to just way appearance. X bar, we're going to copy and paste that. Or all the way to the back. Lined up there. Easy day. So we're going to move both of these up into the frame. Right click the frame, we're going to ground it. And do want to change on the top bar. I want to remove this body. And then we're going to right click the frame again. We're going to make a rigid group and hit OK. Now that is not going anywhere. I do need to hide the origin though, because that gets annoying. All right, so we'll stick with this here. I do want to pull in this Z top. Let's re-enable some of these here. And what we're going to do is we're going to have to flip this one all around here. So we need to flip you 180 this way and 270 that way. And then we're going to do move again. And I'm going to do the point to point. So we're going to go from the very corner of this one to the very corner of that one. That way they are precisely the same place. Save. And we have the fusion frozen. Come on. Okay, so Z top right, we're going to move this into the Z right side. So I have all of the right side here, and I have all the left side right there. It just really helps to just separate things so that you know what parts are for what. And then under the Z right, fusion froze again. Hang on, I gotta get a drink real quick. It's killing me here. I'm gonna be fat and eat some cookies too, but hey. A few extra things kind of in here. I think I made this. Yes, the motor with the thread already has that. So I can remove this. Let's just delete it. It should work out, right? Maybe. Yeah, it did not. So Control Z, undo that changeover. We're going to break the link. Maybe not. Well, I guess that's the alternate that I have there. Yeah, so that's there. Okay, we can leave that one the way it is. Yeah. But I'm gonna I'll make a thing. I'm gonna make a sub component of that one in there. Yeah, Aaron, I didn't know if I was gonna stream tonight or not, but I decided to do it. So here I am. So anyways, on the Z right, we've got the top, and then we're just going to call this the Z top right. We're going to hide that one. Actually, we'll keep the regular one on there, and we'll hide the Bowden. I want to keep the Bowden. The Bowden looks better. So the Z top. Now the motor mount here, this is, I have two motor mounts here for this. And we have the adjustable one and the non-adjustable one. Create a component from that one. And then we're just going to call this Z motor mount right. So again, the way that this was designed is that Aaron made two versions. He made these. So there's the regular one, and then we also have the adjustable one, so that if when I first built the machine, I was using the 5mm to 8mm little spring couplers in order to mount the motor to the, I don't have one sitting around here anywhere, but in order to mount the motor to the lead screw. That was my original configuration. And then LDO Motors said they would sponsor it, and I was able to get custom length lead screw ones from them. So you can do either of those, but they both will work with this machine. You don't have to get integrated lead screws, but I'm going to leave it with it because it looks so much more sleek having integrated lead screws. But if you don't have it, not a problem at all. You just have to enable those bodies, and those bodies are in here to show. So if I can, I'll enable the adjustable. I will get rid of that, and I will enable the mount there and the NEMA, and then I will uncheck that. And here you can see I have it with that in there, and it still works just fine. Still clears. Everything is exactly how it should be. So maybe I'll do one. I don't know if I should do one with it and one without it, kind of to show you the two options you could do. I'm not sold on what I want to do with that though. This I can delete now. I don't need you anymore. Cannot be deleted. I broke that. I'll try saving and deleting that. But yeah, that might be an option, is to have one side showing the integrated lead screw, one side showing the non-integrated lead screw with the adjustable one and non-adjustable. So on the left, let me hide the adjustable and make a component out of that one. And we'll call this Z motor mount left. We're going to name that 34mm because it's only good for 34mm for that height of a motor. Cool, Aaron. I think I'll do that then. Yeah, so I'll have the right is going to be the adjustable with a larger motor sitting there. So you got the larger motor there, which you see how much further down that comes. And you can adjust it right here. You can slide that up and down, makes it easy there. And then the left side is with the short throw one and how it mounts right there. That will be a little bit better. I like that. I do like that. That sketch on that 2028 corner is killing me. I need to fix that. real quick, and I'm gonna get me a cookie. These just came in the mail today. I am so freaking stoked for some EL fudge cookies. I haven't had these in a while. Gotta thank the wife for that one. All right, so we've got the regular Z-top, reverse Bowden Z-top. I'm showing you one side with integrated lead screw, one side with a non-integrated lead screw. I think we can go ahead and consider the Z done. Feet, again, should be done. Might need to copy that over one more time. I guess I don't really have to, but I will. Oops. Let's not copy that. Let's just do mirror. Now we'll move this one from right there to right there. And then we will hide that one. So you can do either one of those. You can have it with the logo, without the logo on the feet. All right, feet are done. Next up is so I can disable the Z left, Z right, the feet, the frame. I'll leave the frame. I'm gonna need the frame for my frame of reference. No, Groggy, that's not. So this is just for sharing the model out so that you can see the options. You can run it with an integrated lead, or you can run it with a coupler on there. I'm showing the options of what you can do to run this machine. I'm not recommending you do both, but I want people to know that you don't have to buy integrated lead screw motors in order to make this build work. X is fine because it's just the bear. So the X is straight up the bear. The only difference is that Aaron made a modification to the sensor holder to fit what I had, which was a 12mm sensor. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. We can go ahead and disable that. We don't need to be seeing that right now. I am going to just delete out the power supply because I don't need that. I have a new version for that to go in. Assuming that it fits, Aaron. I measured it. It should. It's printing now. We'll see how that works out. And Groggy, this machine is built. It's down here. It's this green machine right here. This thing is already built, running, prints, runs great. I think I broke a bunch of things. All right, let's leave that there like that. That didn't break anything. All right, we can delete that then. And sometimes when you delete things out, it just causes upstream issues there. Okay, perfect. So the y-axis here. What all we got for y-axis? I got a bunch of different motor mounts. We need to delete these old motor mounts here. Remove that one. And this was a different wide tensioner that Aaron made. We didn't end up using that one. So this is the motor mount I ended up going with, which I started, and then we kind of made like this like hooking action. So you kind of like get it on there and then pull it down onto it, and it gives you a really secure fit to that. And I am definitely liking that one better. So I think the Y is pretty much squared away. You've got the heated bed assembly. The rod mounts are here with the rods. There are 2 parts for each of those. So that's easy enough. So I think, let's remove these old ones here. This is the original one. They were kind of modified AM8, I think, that Aaron made originally. So we can go ahead and just hide this y-axis. The x-axis, the y-axis carriage is straight off the Prusa. I pulled it from there. It's straight up the i3 MK3 carriage, straight up. It just is using the bare mounts instead of the U-bolts, which I'm going to go ahead and remove the U-bolts as well, since we're not using those. And I don't recommend them. I recommend using these printed mounts. They are much, much better. So we can go ahead and hide the y-axis then. We're good on that one. These small corners, we're going to go ahead and move those under the power supply. We're going to pull the power supply in now, the new version of it. Just over here. I'm going to spin you around. Okay, and then there's okay. And we're going to use our line tool again, because I'm loving that. We're going to line that face with that face, and we're going to line the back end face with that. Oh, heck, cancel that. All right, let me go into that. I'm going to make that a rigid group so that when I move that, it doesn't do it all. Old version of the Zarbio mounts for the Y rods. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that was the original ones you made. This is going to be PSU. We'll call it the PSU. The strap we're not using anymore. Get that out of here. Remove the X bar. Remove this one. So we just have our 4 deal here, and we're going to go. Could be any. Oh yeah. So we're just going to highlight everything, and we're going to make a rigid group out of that. And then save this. Groggy, with a good one, no, you will not. It will not. There's so many. I mean, look at this. Let me pull it up here for you. If you have one that has a low amount of screws, yes. Or I'm sorry, screws, magnets. How many magnets are on this thing? I think there's what, 26 on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 26, 27, 20. There's 28 magnets on here, unless my math is wrong there. 28 magnets. It's a lot. So it easily can hold down anything. And the if it pulls off, honestly, you've got something crazy going on. But like it is so tight, it will pinch your fingers. Like that just pinched my knuckle there. I'm holding on just to the magnetic sheet there. Ooh. Ooh. This is not coming. Yeah, that ain't coming off. Let me go figure out what I just dropped. Oh, it was nothing important. Just some hooks. Oh, that was stupid. Anyways, yeah, that ain't going nowhere. Be very dad joke about it. Line. Side with that side there. And then I want to align bottom to that. We're going to do this one to that. And there it is. Just fits in there. I love the delay, as no one's caught up to me dropping it yet in chat. So there's that. My only thing, Aaron, is that wide enough? Well, it's 20, okay. So we can close out of this now, and I'm going to move these two small corners into the PSU. Well, let me do that because they're all linked. So we're gonna just delete these ones. And go into the here. They are expensive though. One 180 degrees that way. Pull it out there, hit OK. And now we're going to modify, align this face with that, with this face and that. Yeah, like that. Nope, not like that. Like that, yep. I'll pull this one in here. There's undid everything I just did. Interesting. Let's move this one and just do that around. All right, let's align these again. So modify, align that with that. Okay. Now we do modify, align that. Nope, 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 stop. All right, with center of that. Okay. All right, now we can save this. So those mounts will be there. Is someone calling me? Nope. I compose this, and then we can update the model in the main one here. You have to move the whole thing a little bit. So we're gonna move it. I think -1. Yeah. Yeah, it lines up there better. Okay. That's what I was missing there. So all right, so power supply is good to go. But what we will do now is I'm going to go into, we're going to open the LCD, because we're going to make a couple versions of the LCD here. And then I'm going to open up the power supply here, and we're going to copy some things around. So PSU cover, I'm going to, let's see here. I didn't want to do that. Depends on the bed, Groggy. So usually PEI with PLA needs nothing. Textured PEI or powder-coated PEI with PETG needs nothing. Glass or mirror tile shouldn't need anything. The ultra bases shouldn't need anything. Really depends on what you're printing. I generally don't I don't push adhesives unless it's really necessary. I think I want to do this. If I just copy this, and if I do a new design, it's not going to let me paste new. All right, let's just do this. Let's just do this. Don't save that. I don't want to do anything I just did there. Let's copy this right where it is. And we're going to go into it. And I'll just make this. Okay, so right now, I've got all of these extra bodies here. We're just going to remove these. So now you can print this. It'll say Mega Tron, and you'll have the logo in there, but it's all one color, nothing. So we're going to go ahead and we can make this a new component. Call this the PSU cover. We can save this, and once that saves, let me stop loading over here. Oh, I have to switch screens. I'm so sorry for that. I'm the worst. I'm the worst at streaming. Absolute worst. We're gonna rename this single color. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to copy this one. But before I edit that one, I'm going to delete out all of this stuff. Which probably is not going to work. Delete the cap out of this. Need to delete the corners and this. Delete all this stuff. And we just have the single color PSU one like that. Yeah, that's fine. Close that one out. Now we'll go into this single color one that I made. I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to remove the text. So we can delete all of this stuff. So that if you want to print this, but you don't want it to have the text on it, you can have it just a plain blank slate. We're just going to extrude these bodies. To there, hit OK. And we're going to rename this one color, cover, come on. no text. Save it. And these will be just extra files in here. It won't be in the master model, but Aaron, that is so hard because I mean you probably could, you just have to add in. Yeah, it's just I just have a problem with doing that because not everyone has a very tuned printer. And in order to do that, you'd have to undersize them by at least 0.3. And if you have a tuned printer, it's gonna like wiggle in there. If you have an out of spec printer, it might not even fit at all still. So maybe we could do that later, but I think for now this is okay. Now this is the LCD cover. We're going to copy this. Save it. I'm going to do the exact same thing here. I'm just going to do one other one to it. This, I'm just going to do it as a single color. So all I'm going to do is delete out those extra bodies that I made. So if you go into the bodies, all of these, remove those. And now I can just save this real quick and then we'll rename it as single color. Rename this. Let's see the holder. Single color. So this will be in the files. It will not be in this main CAD drawing, but it will be in the files. So we can get rid of the PSU and the LCD holder. All right. Remove that subcomponent. All right, so now we've got the electronics enclosure here to kind of deal with. And this I do need to change because I don't know if there it is. So do I have a separate thing for electronics enclosure? So we're going to move these that way. Okay. And this mount is removed. We're going to pull in the new mount that Aaron made. Now this one is made to clear the X motor faces the back on these style printers. Now what this mount is going to do is it is going to pull that back and outside of the print area, because right now the original way we made this, when I printed it, I was like, oh crap, it knocks into it because it was made for 2040. It wasn't made for 2020, which is what this printer is. So now by doing this, change here. Actually, no, we're just going to back this up and we'll just align it on the face. Align that face to that face. Okay. Easy day. Okay, and now we're just going to move this down to just above that corner bracket there. And then we're going to put this inside this grouping of components. We're going to move these out and try to get these in place. I don't know if I can align this many parts at once. I don't think I can. You only need to align one part at a time. By the way, if I do this, if I just do right click okay, cancel this. If I highlight these and I make a rigid group, yes, okay. Yeah, that works out, and I can then take these, move it, out. Okay. And then I can do the align tool. So this face to here. And then this face to that face. And then this face to this face. Okay. Thinking. Fusion is frozen. It kills me that Fusion does this. Because, I mean, I'm not capped out here. I mean, I'm in the, 40 to 60% CPU utilization normally. It just kills me that Fusion runs like crap. So now that is back outside the print area. No issues there whatsoever. I like it. Just overhangs the back there a little bit, which is okay there. So this is running an SKR 1.3. I believe a 1.4 might fit in there as well. Aaron, I don't know if you can verify that. But this case was purchased on Cult, but it was remixed by Aaron. The main body for here, this cover body, he remixed this in order to work more better. So because these were not aligned in the original version, so he kind of made that indent in there so that you can actually get to things. And then he made this really sweet looking Decepticon-ish looking fan cover. It's for a 50mm fan. So that's where the electronics goes for that. Now, where is this guy located at? So that's part of the frame. That's the corner bracket part of the frame. I did not hide the frame, yeah. So what happens is this corner bracket is what secures this side. On the left side, well, the right, when you're looking at it from straight ahead, the power supply acts as the, why are you way the heck up there now? Goofy now. Hold for Wi-Fi. So this, I can delete this old version then. Oh, because I'm in it. Okay, fine. You can't delete it. Fine. So everything here is in its proper location. Make this a rigid group. Save that out. And then go into here, hit update on here, and show it. Once it updates, update it one more time. Sometimes that happens. So we're going to go ahead and enable all the parts. And we will move that power supply back to where you belong. So align, we're going to align this face to here. Come on. Align. Okay. So you to there. You to there. And then you, your butt to there. Okay. There. Save that out. And that, my friends, is Mega Tron in Fusion 360. That's all of them. That is all of the most up-to-date parts. I don't think there's anything else, Aaron, correct me if I'm wrong, that you made or I made differently from this. I am just waiting on the final confirmation that this PSU cap fit my power supply, which is a standard 114 by 50 mil 24 volt power supply. Nothing special about it there. You can also use a 12 volt version for this printer. 12 volt will work just fine. Just swap out the parts and buy a 12 volt bed. Hey Dan, doing all right. Literally just finishing up this model to get in here. So technically what I could do right now is right click and remove the timeline, and that will remove all of the screw ups, and everything that I did should be wiped clean, supposedly. Let's see what happens here. Dan, are you still streaming? Someone told me that you were here a few minutes when I first started. Didn't realize that you were doing that. Actually, I have a link. You sent me a message an hour ago. I didn't see that. Sorry, dude. All right. I'll have to hit up Justin. Maybe I'll go hang out with him once I'm done. Cause this is kind of all I wanted to do tonight on mine was just this, but I've got some tinkering to do here in the shop. Might come on with you guys and just chat. I got to fix the wife's coffee maker, so that's going to be my evening. We're going to go ahead and delete this clean version thing. I don't need that. All right, now I can just delete this folder. Yeah. So, since we're kind of doing this, let's do the last thing to make this really cool. Let's go ahead and make a couple joints, and those joints will allow me to move parts in here. Just grab them and move them, which I can't do right now. So let's see if I can do this real quick, because I don't want it to take too long. We need to do assemble a I do a joint. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do an as-built joint. Not seeing it. So we're going to do a slider. It's going to be 0.1, 0.2, like that. Yep. Hit OK. So now if I grab this, there must be some rigid joints in here then. What if the bear has a rigid joint? It does have rigid joints. Let's delete these rigid joints here. Not allowing it to happen. Yeah, I'll play with that later, because that's going to take a minute to figure out why that's not working the way I want it to. Where are we at here? Okay. Yeah, Aaron, there's a bunch of there's like a streaming crew, I'll call it, for YouTube, and I've kind of been hanging out with them most of the week, just popping on their different streams. Did a couple with Dan, did some with Justin. Somebody else hosted one. Went on with Tim one night. But again, just kind of just shooting the crap and hanging out with those guys while I work in the shop. Someone to talk to, because talking to yourself is pretty boring. Yeah. So yeah, there's Mega Tron. We're gonna call that good. So my goal is to release this soon. So now that I have a full model here set, all I need to do now is just get a blank folder and export all the STLs from here. The ones I have them all, everything's named properly, pretty sure. And then export all the STLs, and then I can upload this Fusion 360 file right here, this one, with all the STLs, and I'll be able to share the project. And I think that will be, and it'll be fun. I think people can try this out. I did debate on, I did talk with Aaron a little bit. We did talk about check. Okay, that's back now. Sorry, the receiver of my lav mic died, and then the transmitter is going to die here real soon too. Anyways, yeah. So once I upload, I did talk about maybe doing this under Patreon, but the problem is that we remixed quite a few parts, and I'm straight up using the bare parts. So making this a Patreon exclusive wouldn't really work out well. But I will release it on there first probably, and then I'll probably put something on Thingiverse. So check either this stream later or previous ones, and I will have links for this source files for this. So if you guys want to modify this in any way, you can by all means download the Fusion 360 file, make it your own however you want to do it, or you can just download the STLs and print it. I have multicolor prints in here and single color ones in here as well. So if you want to do any of those, you can, because I'm using the palette. Some people have the MMU2 or an MMU, or I have I have a palette 2S Pro, or an older palette, newer palette, whatever. But if you have any way to do multicolor prints, it adds quite a bit of pop. You can see here. I mean, having that extra pop in there is really nice. This is Mega Tron. I do fully intend to build another one of these, modifying a little bit and making an Optimus Prime. And it's going to be in red and blue colors, 100%. That's really what I want to do. I want to make two of these because it prints very, very well. And I'm very, very happy with it. So I think I want to build another one of them once I get another printer that I don't need anymore and I strip it for parts. Because this is a parts printer. This was a Folgertech 2020 i3. And a challenge that I set to Aaron and myself was I want to make a printer out of this printer in 1 week. And from Monday until Friday, we worked, and the entire weekend I spent streaming when I built this thing, and we designed the entire printer in 1 week. Granted, only about 70 to 80% of this is custom. The hardest part, the extruder, was not, but regardless, we were able to design a printer using another older printer, and things come out a million times better. I was able to use all the parts off the old one pretty much. I've now upgraded it more. I put a little bit better parts on it, but this was a super fun build. This will be the last video on this, unless I end up doing a in-depth overview like with it, like physically, and do some close-up stuff like that. I don't know if people would like to see that. If you would, let me know on how everything fits and works together and whatnot, because we did things a little bit different, but pretty standard. But this was my first shot at a custom printer, and I thought it was a lot of fun. And again, Aaron was a huge help to this, as you know, basically the main designer, helping me do this and teaching me a lot of things, and I learned a ton in this build. The board was provided by another one of my patrons, Brandon, and then the motors on it currently is provided by LDO, and it has an LDO screen on it now. And I did that last week. I replaced all the motors on it and got it working. And yeah, it's really awesome. Bumpy along the way, but I was able to figure out some things I didn't know about Marlin 2.0, about designing, about just all fits and clearances. Really, it was really, really fun. So I had a ton of fun doing this, and thank you to those guys for helping me out to be able to build this and create my very first, basically scratch built 3D printer. So that's going to be it for tonight, guys. Again, check back in, I don't know, a week or so. I should have these fully. I'm going to have to take like an hour to export all these different STLs and get them saved down there because I have different versions of things and whatnot. But I'll get all that exported, put that down in the video description. If you want to check this out, you'll see it on my Twitter. On Patreon, I'll post on there as well where you guys can get these files. So thank you all for tuning in. It's been a big help. If you want to help out do projects like this, consider becoming a patron or donating to the channel. Patrons fund most all of my builds now, so they have been a huge part of the channel for me. Oh yeah, Darren, as Aaron said, the Discord is where we talked about all of this, and all of this came up, and we started, chatting about it. But make sure you go ahead and go down to the Discord link and join on there. And yeah, that's going to be it, guys. So thanks for tuning in. It's been real fun. See y'all next time. Wash your hands. Happy printing. See y'all later.